You don't have to be 100 steps in front of the next person. You just have to be 5 steps in front of them to be able to bring them up and show them where you are. And together you guys can go on the journey together. Hey, nurse CEOs, future nurse CEOs. Welcome to the Nurse Boss Shift. It's your girl, Christal P, the Beauty NP. And I am coming to you on location, I guess you will, from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And just the scenery and the beauty of it all, I just could not get some content in. Just, when you're on vacation, the ideas start flowing, you're relaxed, you can think and different things like that. So I'm like, let me pop in and do a quick video. You should never go anywhere unprepared to do some content. So here I am. Let me just show you. I tried to get this content with the ocean view in my background, but it's just not working as far as the aesthetics because the sun is shining and it's doing what it does. So I'll just turn the camera around and show you guys the beauty that is Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We are here, my husband and I, on vacation for my birthday. And so I just wanted to come in and talk about something that I know has had stunted my entrepreneur endeavors for a while. And I just want to be able to give a word to some of you who are out there experiencing this very same thing that I did that kind of kept me stunted from really going hard on my business back in the day. And that is the feeling of having imposter syndrome. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it. You may have been feeling it, but didn't know there's an actual name to it. So I just wanted to dive into imposter syndrome, what it is, and some ways that you can avoid it, get over it faster. Please get over it much faster than I did in my first business so that you can continue to thrive in your businesses or your future businesses that you are thinking of, because I assure you it most likely will come about. And first, I just want to define imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is a feeling of unworthiness or incompetence despite achieving accomplishment and successes. This feeling is most common in the workplace, but it can manifest itself in about any part of life. Those with imposter syndrome often go to great lengths to hide it, which can stunt their future success. And it's so funny that us as nurses, you would think that we are educated and we have degrees and that we wouldn't suffer from imposter syndrome or feeling like, why me? Not somebody else. I'm not capable of doing this. People will think I'm a fraud. All those thoughts that go through your head. And that is just certainly not true. We are nurses. We are educated. We are smart. All of the things. So we only suffer from imposter syndrome because it's a personal feeling that we tell ourselves. And it's something that we tell ourselves and something we let ruminate in our minds and in our brains. And it can, the definition said, it can literally stunt your growth and stunt your future success from getting to where you want to get because you feel like, why me? Who will listen to me? Who will believe me? I don't know as much as I think I know. People will know that and they will not listen to me, or they will shame me in some sort of way. And that is just not true. Those are lies that we tell ourselves. So I want you guys to get out of that mindset and just know that that is unequivocally not true. And what really affected me when I was researching imposter syndrome is that it says imposter syndrome doesn't always stop at feeling like a fraud. This mental state, bona fide, has a mental, physical, and emotional effects on depression, anxiety, impaired job performance, lower job satisfaction, and burnout. So I don't want any of you to go through that. There are 3 things that I want to talk about as far as imposter syndrome and how we are to overcome it. And one is that you are not alone in this. Many people, especially if we are embarking on something new, we can suffer from imposter syndrome because, again, it is something new. But I want you guys all to remember that there is someone out there who is waiting for you to live to your fullest potential and do the thing because they are suffering from whatever it is, right? So for me and Dr. Jones, our business is IV hydration. So there is someone who is out there at their job. They are stressed out. They are suffering from burnout. And they are just waiting for someone who can walk them through the steps of starting this business and the steps to start an IV hydration business. And they're waiting for us. So imagine if me and Dr. Jones had never come up with a program as comprehensive as it is, then those people will still be wandering out there and maybe taking other classes that don't serve them or give them everything that they need, and just suffer with burnout even longer. So thanks to Dr. Jones and I, we have come forward with our program, and that is helping others. So you have to remember, whatever your business is, even if it's IV hydration, whatever it is that you are looking to do in business, there are people who are waiting on you. And please remember that you are not alone in suffering from imposter syndrome. Most people who are getting into business suffer from this, but I want you to remember that there is someone out there who is waiting for you to do the thing that you need to do to save them. And if you don't get out of your head and save them, then they won't be saved, and they might be feeling burnout and depressed and all the things. And I want you also to remember that you don't have to be 1,000 steps in front of the next person. All you need to do is have done the thing and have that experience to be able to show them what it is that they need to do the thing, right? So in IV hydration, for example, I don't have a 20 location IV hydration lounge. So who's going to listen to me? No, but I have my one IV hydration business that's very successful. So I can help bring the next person up. So please remember that you don't have to be 100 steps in front of the next person. You just have to be 5 steps in front of them to be able to bring them up and show them where you are. And together you guys can go on the journey together to getting even further. But please remember that in starting any kind of business, there is someone waiting on you to do the thing. And you don't have to be 1,000 steps in front of them, right? So I don't have every drip for every client, but I have a drip that can make you feel good, that can help you lose weight, that can help you to get your wellness journey on track. And that's all you need for your future client or your future customer, especially if you're a nurse and you are educating and offering your services to people who have no educational background. You know so much more than them. So why would they not listen to you? I think we as nurses forget that, and we need to remember and always keep at the forefront that we know so much more than the average person, especially when it comes to medical. So we don't have to hide and have imposter syndrome and think that we don't know what we're talking about. We know basic vitamins. We know what hydration does to the body. And this can be related to any topic that you are starting a business on. But the whole point is that you only have to be a few steps ahead of the person who you are looking to pay you, right? So your patients, your clients, you only have to be a few steps ahead of them. You know that IV hydration is great for them, can help them feel hydrated, decrease headaches, decrease food poisoning, decrease hangovers, decrease fatigue, all those things, low immunity. You have what they need. So don't forget that. Okay. So you are not alone. Please remember that. You are not alone in this journey, and you have to let your inner perfectionist go. And that is the reason why imposter syndrome is all in our heads. It's nobody else putting these boundaries on us. It's just us in our heads thinking that we have to be perfect in everything. And that is just not the case. Me and Dr. Jones, myself, in my business alone have done so many things imperfect. Nobody else knows it's imperfect. I know that is not where I want to be, and I'll make the next one better. But we have to let this idea of perfectionism go. It's not going to serve you. In my first business, I tried to make sure everything was perfect. The logo, paid, hundreds of dollars for the correct logo, the correct this and this and that. And then when it was time to actually talk about my business, I felt this immense sense of imposter syndrome, and it held me back. So you don't have to be perfect. Please don't wait until your business is perfect to start it. Just start it. You will never know what you need to correct until you start it and you start noticing things. And then your clients start telling you. They're not going to be rude or mean about it, or they'll be like, hey, do you have a blanket? And you'll say, oh, sorry, I don't have any right now. And then you think, okay, next time I need to bring blankets to appointment because IVs, the client can get cold. So I need to bring blankets. You learn that as you go along, but no one's going to be like, oh, they're whack. They didn't have blankets the first time I tried them or whatever. That's all in our heads. And that's all an idea of perfectionism that we need to let go when it comes to imposter syndrome. Okay. So again, remember, you are not alone. Most people who start businesses and start something new deal with imposter syndrome. 2 is that you have to let go of your perfectionist. And 3 is that you need to be kind to yourself and stop talking so down upon yourself. I always talk about this, but be kind to yourself. If you don't have whatever your client is asking for that first appointment, then you just have it on the second one. But be kind to yourself. Let the perfectionism go. Okay. 4th, I'm going to say you need, as we always talk about, you need to have some sort of mentor when you're going through this. So let your mentor know what things you went through, what you're experiencing, so they can let you know how you can change those going forward. But again, it's all in tracking your successes and tracking your failures so that you can know what to do better the next time. It's not about being hard on yourself. It's all about tracking, repositioning it. That's how we have created our program. And I use our program because it's been around for 2 years, going on 3 years now. And we just keep perfecting it. And that's what you do in business. You keep perfecting it. That's what I do in my med spa. I see that people ask for different things, or they ask different questions, and that's how you learn to perfect things. But you have to get started in order to know those things, because if you think that you're going to be able to think of every question your client may have, or think of every solution to all of their answers before you've even started, that's incorrect, because you don't know what some of them are. You can study your target population as much as you want, or the population you want to service, your niche, as much as you want, but you're never going to know until you get started what they truly want. Oh, and fifth, I want to say yes to all opportunities. This is a big one, because even though I knew this, I still struggle with it. And you have to say yes to everything. And as a wise coach once told us, you have to say yes to everything, and you figure out the details later. So I will always bring up how I knew this, right? I had been taught this, and I had been doing a pretty good job of saying yes to any opportunities that came my way. But I remember for AmSpa, the conference, I spoke last year. And when I spoke, they had asked me, did I want to also do a side speech in weight loss, adding weight loss to your practice. At that time, I hadn't introduced semaglutide to my practice. I didn't know much about weight loss. And I said, oh, no, I don't really know much about weight loss. And I said, no. So that opportunity came and gone, right? And what happened? A month later, semaglutide hit the fan, and I started offering it. And by the time the conference was to come, was several months later, and I was an expert in semaglutide. I could have easily given a talk on how to add weight loss to your med spa, but I said no, because I didn't know. But guess what? It's easy to learn. It's easy to research. So that's what I should have done. So guess what? This year, they asked me if I wanted to do the talk for weight loss, and I said absolutely yes. So that just reminded me that you have to say yes to all opportunities and figure it out. So let that be your norm, so you can start just taking on any opportunities, and you just research it. And you don't have to be an expert. I just have to be able to show other med spa owners why it's important to add weight loss to their practice, what types of weight loss services I can add to their practice. And then I will be the expert on the subject, because I'm a few steps ahead of the person who is in the audience looking at my talk, listening to my talk, who didn't even know weight loss added to a med spa was a thing. So now they at least know that, and they can do their further research. So I hope these tips are helpful for you all. If you are suffering from imposter syndrome, please don't let it hinder you, because it's something that we all go through. And I assure you that people who have suffered from imposter syndrome and got through it will tell you to get over it and get over yourself as fast as you possibly can, because that's what's holding you back from the person and the business owner and entrepreneur that you could be, by worrying about imposter syndrome. So I hope this message helps. It's just a little quickie that I'm coming in. I just wanted to inspire you all, because I know imposter syndrome is something that shows up very loud in our heads and in our minds. We are talking to ourselves. Hopefully those talks are positive. But if you're talking to yourself and kind of just saying, like, who am I? How do I think I'm good enough to do this, et cetera, then that will hold you back. And then you will find yourself a year or two in your business thinking, I should have broke out of my shell and realized this a long time ago, because I could have been so much further in my business. So I don't want any of you guys to have those problems. And you know that Dr. Jones and I are here to be your business besties and your business experts while you are going through this, and to give you shortcuts and side cuts that can help you get to the bag quicker than we did. So yes, I hope this helps. Again, please leave a comment. Let us know that you are enjoying the show. Let us know if there's something else you want us to talk about, if there's any other topics you want to hear from us. And we are just continuing on this journey to help inspire future nurse entrepreneurs, to let you know that you can do it, and you can be on a beautiful beach without having to ask for time off, without having to use your PTO, without having to find some coverage for you. And this could be your life, letting your assets be able to take care of your travel, and not having to work a bunch of overtime shifts and shifts at the hospital for someone else versus working for yourself. So I hope that helps. There's a loud ambulance. So I'll see you guys later next time.